And it's all about getting our product in front of more employers so they know it exists, and they know when they're building their inside sales team specifically and building their graduate hiring funnel, we should be, or JobLab should be, kind of the go-to platform for that.
Aidan from JobLab, thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure.
We're going to chat today mainly about the successful crowdfunding round, because there's thousands of entrepreneurs watching who are, well, pretty much all of them want to raise a round at some stage, more than likely, right? And a lot of them look at the crowdfunding route, but a lot that have done it, and I know there's some watching that have done the crowdfunding route and weren't successful, right?
Yeah.
For probably millions of reasons why, because we can go into it. But before we start, JobLab is connecting graduates with startup jobs, not necessarily main corporate jobs. Is it more startups, or what way does it work?
More startups, inside sales specifically. So marketplace, the largest marketplace in the UK for graduate inside sales professionals.
Very cool. And how was this something that you went through when you were a graduate, or would you notice this from the outside?
Yeah, so born out of a personal pain point. Like many graduates, I kind of finished university, ended up in a career that I didn't really see going forward, studied advertising, which is a degree, went into advertising, and ended up on the graduate job boards, which are just kind of, CV black holes. The newspaper classified ads put online, and that was the end of innovation like 10 years ago when Monster did it. And kind of didn't really understand why there was no marketplace directly connecting employers with candidates. So we set out to build it ourselves.
And it works, you described the off cameras as like a reverse job board. Yeah. Where it works the other way, where the businesses actually reach out directly to the candidates.
Yeah. So candidates create a profile, they upload a video, and then we have an algorithm that ranks candidates to specific jobs, and we give employers the tools to search and find them. Just like you buy anything on an e-commerce marketplace. We weren't the first people to try and think of this model, and a lot of people have tried and unfortunately failed to create this kind of candidate first marketplace. And the core insight that we found was you can't have this marketplace model function just by having supply and demand and the platform. You need engagement, and it's very hard to get candidates to engage with an online platform. Yeah. So we ended up introducing a currency, JobLab tokens, and we started paying candidates for their engagement. So candidates, they earn money, real money, for creating a profile, and every time they're invited to a job, if they respond quickly within an hour, they can earn more of these tokens, more of this currency, and it kind of streamlines the recruitment process, removes the need for a recruiter to kind of facilitate it, and we have kind of a better experience at a lower cost and more streamlined.
And that way, everybody wins, because the employer wants to get these responses, and then the graduate wants money, So it makes sense. And you recently closed a round of funding. Yes. Partly, we mentioned at the beginning, partly through Crowdcube, right? And we had said that a decent chunk of businesses actually, aren't successful, unfortunately, through Crowdcube, but you were. And we've had some consultants on, right, for crowdfunding. And a lot of them say you need half the money before you even get into it. You need a hell of a lot of planning. You need time every single day to respond back to questions. So there's all these sort of tips. In what way did you do? Did you have much time to prep, or was it more?
Yeah, so probably quite unconventional, but worked in our favor. So we, I guess, pivoted our fundraise. So we started off going down the VC and angel route, wasted a lot of time with VCs, which I think is not uncommon. VCs love taking up your time. Yeah, it happens. And we got some early traction with some really good angel investors. Our lead investor in this round is the founder of Pure Gym, kind of does a lot of tech investment.
That's a good name to have.
Yeah, so he's been awesome, but that kind of helped lock in the initial traction. But then we got to a point where we'd been fundraising for a few months, kind of our network was kind of slimming up. We started getting some Brexit related kind of objections. So we thought that, we could keep kind of struggling on a little bit, or we could use our community to help push us over the line. And, it kind of came to us, we were like, okay, we've got all of these graduates, we've got 35,000 candidates on the platform. They all love what we do. We're positioning ourselves as the guys that are there to help them. They see us as the future. They'd even kind of asked us if they can invest in the company. So we thought, why not let them? So we kind of did an MVP version. We threw up a landing page, asked our candidate community if they wanted to invest. Overnight, we had something like 20K worth of pre-commitments. And we were like, okay, this is the route to go down. So within, a 3-week period. We went from completely cold start to live on Crowdcube. Ended up hitting the target within 48 hours and ended up over 150% oversubscribed. So ended up like the right decision, but very unconventional route.
So you mentioned you did the pre-commitment, right? You 20 grand worth of pre-commitment. How important is it to test that pre-commitment?
Yeah, super important. So obviously, if like any startup experiment, we needed to know whether it was going to have traction before we doubled down and went down the route. So we had other options if we didn't get that commitment. So if we'd put it out and kind of we got crickets, then we'd have to rethink about another option. So it saved a bit of time further down the line, I guess.
And with that, is that marketing money, or was it to hire more people? What was the money for?
So the pre-commitment was just expressions of interest. So people saying that, if we did go live, how much would they commit? So that wasn't cash in the bank, it was just testing the market.
I mean the raise in general.
The full raise, so the full raise is all about growth for us. So we have a functional product, we have this self-serve marketplace, and it's all about getting our product in front of more employers so they know it exists. And they know when they're building their inside sales team specifically and building their graduate hiring funnel, JobLab should be kind of the go-to platform for that.
And marketing this, it's always interesting because it's obviously quite young people that are graduates. So is it Instagram? Because we always ask people having to come in, where are you marketing it to people in their 20s? Is Instagram just king?
Yeah, so at the moment we rely heavily on organic sign-ups for candidates. So we have kind of connections with over 70 universities, so we're getting a lot of flow directly from unis. We just hired a head of growth, thanks to the fundraise, who's kind of looking at the paid channels and the paid social to expand on that. I think Instagram will be a really big hitter there.
It's really cool. And if obviously there's a lot of scale-ups watching the show, right? And hiring, because we ask what is off camera, a lot of time we ask what is the pay there, what's going on, and a lot of them do say we're in that growth phase of just try to get the right staff, and if you get the wrong staff, it's a pain. You have to let them go and you start again, and it's a huge. It's not even the money thing a lot of time. It's just a complete drain on the founder's time. If they want to get on the platform, what way does it work?
Yeah, so hiring is one of the biggest pain points. None of these great companies would exist if they didn't have great people. So for us, we'll try to make it as easy, as streamlined as possible. And we have kind of completely self-service, so an employer can sign up to JobLab, they can upload a job, they'll be presented with a list of the best matching candidates, and within 1 hour, they'll have 10 applicants with video cover letters that have been pre-screened to their job. So the experience compared to kind of getting CVs in your inbox that you need to kind of screen and sift through from a job board to kind of 10 matched candidates with videos, so you skip that phone interview stage that you just need to drag into another column to book an interview.
It's very handy.
We've tried to take all that pain away. And then, on top of that, we have kind of world-class customer success team that can kind of take your requirements, really help match the best candidates to the job, and take even more of that pain away.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're hiring at the minute, but it's not for the inside sales position. It's not yet, but we put an ad up on another job site, which I'm not going to mention, don't want to get sued. But they had recommended, they give you like a recommendation of how much you should spend to get. So something like spend £5 a day, and in a month you'll get 42, whatever. So it's like we want to kind of hire someone quicker, so we'll put £10 in. And we got 146 applicants in 2 hours. But it wasn't, and now I have to go through them all.
No, exactly.
A lot of, I'd say 80% didn't have a cover letter yet. They just like CV, submit, and now my inbox is just full of.
Yeah, and that's the pain that we're seeing. A lot of companies, kind of competitors in this space, are focusing on how to optimize the job board to get more applications. But kind of the advent of these job boards and these channels that they're using for aggregation means that there's this avalanche of CVs that then an employer needs to try and sift through. And we're finding, we speak to some employers and they say when they use a job board, they even get down or resort to sifting by first name. And it's just remarkable, which is why kind of the recruitment industry exists, because they'll do the posting on the job board, they'll do the sifting, and then they'll charge you kind of a handsome fee for the candidates they handpick, right? But the real solution is, the future of this space is a marketplace where, you see the best matching candidates, you get 90% response rates for the ones you speak to, and you trust that the platform is presenting the best candidates to you. And that's what we're working towards.
Well, if anyone's after an inside sales team, it's a no-brainer. Aidan, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers.